Fanfic Corner, presented by Jennifer. She's right. Callum has trouble with his wrist sometimes. It's not a battle scar so much as a repetitive stress injury. Years of poor posture, holding his charcoal too tight, and drawing runes using funny wrist movements have started to take their toll on him. And it's not too bad, usually. But some nights it does get a little much. They don't spend a lot of time in Catalis, but that's where they are tonight. There's a treaty to oversee, and Callum's hunched over it in his old bedroom, looking for errors and exploitive phrases in the fading light. His wrist is starting to ache again, and he rubs it absently, his quill forgotten in its ink pot, a grimace tugging down at his lips. He thought he was being subtle about it, but he and Rayla have been together far too long for her to miss something like that. She says nothing at first. Callum wonders if, for the first time, she actually has missed it. But there's a disapproving sort of frown in the lines of her face that tells him otherwise. Her hair is still damp from her bath, and she should, by all means, be getting ready for bed. But she's not pleased with him and his refusal to acknowledge his own discomfort. She should talk, he snorts to himself inwardly. She's a week out from her scheduled leave of absence from politics. The one that he'd organized for the sake of the baby, because she's been too stubborn to acknowledge her own limits this far along in her pregnancy, and she has the gall to disapprove of him and a minor stress injury. In the end, she clicks her tongue and disappears into the hall. She's gone about 15 minutes. Callum honestly starts to worry because she's not as agile as she used to be, as much as she pretends she is. And there's every chance she might need assistance on the way back. But she returns at last with a cold pack and some bandages and an irritated scowl, and he lets out a breath he's forgotten had lodged itself in its throat. "Don't think I can't see you wincing," she grumbles, snatching his bad hand. 10 minutes on ice for the swelling, then I'm strapping it. No complaints. He laughs in spite of himself. "It's really not that bad, Rayla." "Don't care," she snaps. "Don't think I don't know what it's like to have wrist pain. To have pain in your wrists. If you leave it, it'll get worse." She's right, of course. She always is. She, of all people, would know exactly how this feels. And Callum relents and accepts the ice from her with a graceful kiss against her fingers. "Thank you," he murmurs. Her eyes soften. "Anytime."